is the town chairman. He's also very close to the governor. Bishop Idowu Ferron is a very prominent religious leader who is also very close to the governor. Then the emir of Zozo. Some of these stakeholders are in the elder forum. Yes, an elder forum that also sits to talk to the governor. So for this strategy, the social accountability strategy we need to do as CSO is to track the beneficiaries of SP interventions and conduct social audits of social protection activities. The responsible person is going to be CASPA in collaboration with CASIO and the state, the Social Security Administration. We are hoping that that will be established. And once it is established, we work in collaboration with them. So for this late implementation of CASIO, we want to mobilize allies among the youth through Kaduna Youth Dialogue. Nura and Victor, even chairman, you were aware that Mr. Edgar last week came here and told us the reason why we had a meeting in Kaduna. They had an OGP Youth Summit. We now have another umbrella that is basically Youth Forum that we are, the OGP community are trying to bring them up in terms of leadership, civil society space to demand for accountability. So we want to use that platform, mobilize them, and in collaboration with us, conduct advocacy. We want them to own this activity. This intervention is the strategy for the 1% of the IGR for social protection that Governor El-Rufai handed over to Obasanjo. Wants to use the CAGIO was developed and signed for implementation as the only active program that the state will own directly for social protection. Sadly, this government has not yet taken it up, even when there has been a full disbursement of the 1% from last year. It has not been taken up. So we are hoping that the youth, in collaboration with us, will help us push for this, for the government to take off this intervention. The one person that is very important to this is the governor, right? Even the first one is the governor. If we're able to convince him about the importance of this, he even knows the importance. It's just that all these interventions are linked to the social register. But because he doesn't want to use the targeting for the social register, that's the major problem for this intervention. Because it was supposed to be a collaboration with other donors in Kaduna State to fund it. And the donors are saying that their criteria should stand as the social register. And the government is not ready to use the social register. So we have now, because it's called my about their national list. So that's why we are where we are here. We identified Professor Bugaji Idris. He's the ES of MDT. He's very passionate about youth. We got to find out that he pushes for youth involvement, youth skills acquisition, and the rest. So he will help us solve the issues based on our analysis. Then we also identify the deputy governor. Even though when you look at our analysis, you see where we are placed our votes. Just for the purpose of identifying key policy makers, we decided to target her here. The focal person for council is also very important because the project itself is seated in council. Then the Honorable Commissioner for Human Services and Social Development is very important. Then we have the partaker. Particular Market Association. Particular Market Association is very important to push this innovation. Then we have the APC youth leader. We think is very influential and we can push our advocacy through him. Then we have the special advisor to the governor of student matters. That's another person, young person that should be that will respond to the issues of the social accountability mechanism for this activity is budget performance tracking and reporting. So the moment we get this activity implemented, these are the things we will do. We will begin to track the implementation of that category and see that it is implemented according to what was budgeted for. Then we conduct social audits on categories. The same people, CASPA, CASPIO, and SSAs are responsible. So the take-up of the Social Security Administration, there is the formal information and informal information. So the informal information that got to us is that not that the government is not interested in taking this up, but it seems to have an idea that you spend up to 100 million to just create an office. So based on this internal information we have, we said first of all we need to conduct advocacy visits on advocacy dialogue, people have advocacy dialogue on the establishment. The take-up can start from any of the agencies that have now been put under the Social Security Administration put together. These are going to still be called ESs by right, but they will have a chairman that maybe will get our agency administration established. Say is the former DG of Catchman. It seems to be important in this discussion. Then the focal person for Council, the Honorable Commissioner for Planning and Budget Commission, the Emir of Zozo, Chief of Kokoro, DG Scholarship Board, and the Office of the Accountant General. They are key persons in the establishment of that administration. Then the social accountability activity will be budget performance tracking and reporting. The same set of people. Funding for Caswell. The problem with this funding is that they cannot trace those people that were beneficiaries of Caswell before now. And so there's distrust by this government to be able to continue this activity, board intervention. But we are thinking that the advocacy activity we should be able to do is to conduct a budget advocacy town hall and public hearing. To do that, we will also need to gather evidence. If you see our social accountability, mechanism here, you see impact assessment of Caswell. So if we can get to work with the Ministry of Human Services and get them to tell us some of the beneficiaries, we track them, we see the impact, we can be able to convince the government that this works. You can continue this intervention. And we targeted the Commissioner for Human Services. There is a very influential woman. I think it's Adia Maria Miroso. Yes. Adia Maria Miroso. She's the APC women leader. So we've been informed that if it is budget for women, and she calls the governor, he listens to her. So another very important person is the Office of the Accountant General, because we found out that he's very influential and can even help to prioritize the issues that affect funding. Next is the implementation of the free antenatal care. So advocacy visits is one. application is that?
Which one? Huh?
This one.
Public policy dialogue.
Public policy dialogue. Please put it in what they should demand for, and how to access it, and how to report using the previous project mechanism if it is not implemented as planned. Sure, help to first ascertain the level of the free antenatal care before we can take it over. The social accountability mechanism is community monitoring of facilities. We even started it during the basic healthcare provision form. We went around to monitor some facilities and gave feedback to the government. So this will help us to be able to know the true picture of the free antenatal care services at the facility. Low involvement of civil society in the financial inclusion intervention and palliative distribution committee. Well, for this, we've started advocacy. The deputy governor has told us to write her and stuff like that, but we found out that she cannot give the go-ahead. The go-ahead has to come from the governor. Even though he doesn't seem to be in the committee, he's not chairing the committee, but he has the final say on the decisions of the committee. So for this, we need to conduct an advocacy visit directly to the governor to see if he would, we need to present the activities of CASPA, what CASPA has been doing for years, and how we have impacted in the community that he is actually governing over. So if he's able to see the importance of our interventions at the community level, who knows, we might join those committees. We've also targeted the governor, the honorable commissioner for finance, and the likes who are also in the committee. Tracking of intervention in the social accountability activity. The last one is expanding social housing for the vulnerable. There has been a flag of 200,000 housing scheme for these people. What do you call them? No, the name of the Qatar Charity Foundation has flagged it in Kaduna. It's one of the biggest housing scheme currently for vulnerable people currently happening in the state. And there are multiple things they are going to be doing, putting on board a lot of things. So the government is very excited about this project. They've already tagged it for OBC, that's orphans and vulnerable children. Then, but we are going to have to follow this up seriously because we are not sure that the politicians will allow the beneficiaries to access this service, including IDP. It is the only housing scheme that is free. You are not paying back anything. You are going to stay. You are going to own a house free. So we need your support to be able to know the right things to do. The first thing we did here was to write advocacy visits. And for this advocacy visit is to sit down to see how we can be among, once we're in that committee, we'll practically be able to suggest best practices for this. The people that are very important in this discussion, we'll identify them all. We sign a they are the same people for SSR because they are gifts, it's charity. So it's something that even our religious leaders would be interested in seeing how well this is implemented. So again, we are going to be tracking and reporting of beneficiaries for the program to see if they are benefiting as planned. So let's go to the mapping. By the time we started our mapping, we discovered that those people we had mentioned, majority of them fall on high power, low interest. Means they have the power, but they do not really know about social protection or to be able to, they are not interested. It's not something we can pinpoint that we've seen one or two of the things they've done around social protection. Then, so you can see all of them that we have mentioned there. Then, sadly, we have one person who identified with low power, low interest. Low power, low interest. And the Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Human Services and Social Development. Last week, we have to argue. All the commissioners would have gone to, okay, the idea. Low power, high interest. Most of our commissioners have, in this current administration, do not have the kind of power the other administration gave to their commissioners. So they might be interested because it's their area, but they do not have power to decide. So that's why we are low power and high interest. If you look at number one, deputy governor, this administration will identify that our deputy governor has low power, but she's interested in human capital development. She's good. She's a very good, intellectually sound person when it comes to human capital development. Then for high power, our governor, we actually targeted him for high power, high influence because for somebody to enter office, 10 minutes into office, he has already signed financial inclusion policy, and then a month or 2 months into it, he signed our social security law. It means that he has an interest in social protection. Possibly, the only problem we have with him is his target. He's just fighting that target, that is all. But he seems to have an interest in providing for the poor. In fact, we see that he wants to give to the poor, but he's dangling between political contestation and the rest. So